All right, we're going to try this for like the 4th or 5th time, and hopefully this is now working again. Technology is a wonderful thing, but just not for me. So we'll get through this. I have to get through my little frustration. I don't want to have a breakdown here on a video. So we will keep things calm, and we will drive on as if nothing happened, even though we know that's not accurate. But I'll play the part. All right, so again, we are in Oakland for game 136 of the White Sox replay against Oakland. Matt Keogh is on the mound for Oakland, and Steve Rinko will be the pitcher for the White Sox. So now, let's see. Keogh will lead things off, and just to update people on what happened in the previous games. Oakland, this is the 4th game of the 4-game series in Oakland. White Sox were looking to make up ground, but just didn't happen. They lost 2 of 3 to Oakland. They're trying to win this game to at least salvage the series, and they get to look forward to facing Nolan Ryan tomorrow as they travel down to Anaheim to take on the Angels in a doubleheader. So Sox looking to try to rebound from some bad outings, see what they can do. Ralph Garr will lead things off. Let's go through the lineups very quickly. Ralph Garr is in left, Bannister at short, Ward is at second, Zisk the DH, Gamble is at right field, Johnson's at first, Lemons in center, Kessinger is at third, replacing Soderholm, giving Soderholm the day off, and Essien is catching. For Oakland, it'll be Bill North in center, Rodney Scott at second, Mitchell Page the DH, Mike Jorgensen's at first, Tyrone's in left, Sanguillen's the catcher, Gross is at third, Armas is in right, and Piccolo is the shortstop. And probably why nobody's in the chat, because I've tried it 3 times, it didn't work, so they're probably like, hey, you're crying wolf here, and I'm not going to fall for it again. But oh well, we'll do it anyway. Whoever shows up, and if it don't show up, it's no big sweat off my back, because I need to get this game played anyway and move on so I can finish this season replay. Sox aren't in the playoff race whatsoever, but I still want to finish the replay and see how the stats come out. So we are ready to go. And get my charts here so I can have my defensive charts. For some reason, I don't know why. Let me go back to my home screen, make sure it's showing up here. Why is my thing not showing up? Okay, there we go. All right, so I do have the thing up, so now I can look at the chat in case anybody happens to show up. It's a shame, too, because I got this new camera arm, and it allows the camera to go above me so I can play without any interruptions of trying to get around my tripod or any of that kind of good stuff. So anyway, sorry about the snafus. Like I said, I was thinking it was the Xfinity folks, and it was actually my error. I accidentally kicked the surge protector, so I'm trying to put that way out of my way. All right, so we are ready to go. Ralph Garr, and again, in case you don't remember, and I got to remind myself as well, is that I'm switching to Super Advanced for these last games. So this will be Super Advanced. Ralph Garr against Matt Keogh. It's a 5-3 on Keogh. It's a ground ball pitcher X, and Keogh is a 4E34. 4 and a 4 could be interesting for a pitcher. 4 and a 4. Let's check him out here. 4 and a 4 is a single, so he's gonna get away from him, and that is an E. That's a 14. I'm sorry, it's 15, and he is an E34. So this could be an error on top of it. Nope, no 15, so it won't be an error, but it will be an infield single for Ralph Garr. How about that? Now Keogh is a +5 holding runner, so this is an optimal time to try to run. Sox don't run all that often, but when you get a +5 and Sanguillen's a +2, that's +7. But of course, +5 is as far as you can take it. So we're going to get that +5. So even if he doesn't get the jump, he still might be, well served to try to steal. But he gets a jump on a 2 through 6 or a 12. And it's a 6, but it's a 1, so he's got a chance of getting picked off, which means even if he gets back, he won't be able to get the jump. His secondary lead's a 12, so this has to be a 12 or less, or he is picked off. 10, he gets back, but he can't get the jump now, so he will have to stay right where he is. All right. Now, Alan Bannister, the batter. Nothing happened on the 20. Here's Bannister, 6-7. And that's a 1 for a single. Anything else, he will line it to third. And Wayne Gross makes the catch, 1 away. So Bannister is retired. That brings up George Orta. Hey, Philip, how you doing? After many snafus, hopefully it's working now. Nothing on the D20. It's 5-5 against Keogh. Is a fly ball to right field, but we do have the ballpark check to go on. And through all this stuff here, I forgot to check the ballpark, but I'm just going to use the regular ballpark effects, not the weather. So in Oakland, home runs are 1-7 and singles are 1-2. So not very good hitter's park, but this is a home run check. On a 1-7, he will go deep, will Mr. Orta. It's not going to make it. It's a fly out to right field, and that's out number 2. So Orta is retired, and still stuck at first is Ralph Garr. Here's Richie Zisk, the DH. Nothing on the 20. Zisk, 2-11 against a right-hander. That's a split chance. 1-7's a double, 8-20's a single, but it's 2 stars, so he can't score. It's going to be a double, but it's even with 2 outs, he won't be able to score because of the 2-star rule. So runners are at second and third now with 2 outs for Oscar Gamble, the right fielder. Check the 20. Nothing's happening. So here's Gamble. They could walk him and pitch Johnson, but they're going to go ahead and pitch to Gamble. 6-12, and that's a ground ball second base X, and that is Rodney Scott. And as a second baseman, defensively, Rodney Scott for the Oakland A's checks in as, let's get his card here, a 4 E32. 4 and a 19, he'll get to that. E32, he's got to avoid the error on the E32. That's a 14, so we're checking E32 for a second baseman, and a 14. E32, there is no 14, so he will make the play, and amazingly, Keogh gets out of this with no damage done. How about that? So it's just the way it's gone for the Sox, and it's the way it's gone for my recording. All right, Philip, I will certainly check that out at some point. All right, so Steve Rinko is up, and he's on the mound to face Bill North, leadoff hitter for the A's. 4-8. 4-8's a ground ball to second. Orta's got it. 1 away, so hopefully getting a little stability back to this video. Hate getting flustered and try to do a video. It just doesn't bode well for me. 5-5. It's Rinko against a lefty. Well, 1's a double. Anything else will be a single. And Rodney Scott hits a 1-out single. Now, he's certainly a threat to run. He can get a jump. He gets a jump all the time. Actually, he's a permanent jump, 2-12. So he's a permanent jump. But we'll roll to see if he gets a chance to get picked off with a 1 on the D20, which he does not. So he gets the jump, starts him as a 15. The hold rating of Rinko is a 0. The arm of Essier's a 0, so it stays a 15, but you lose 2 for being held as a 13. So 1-13, he'll make it. And he's caught stealing by Essien, so we'll call that 2-6 with the lefty on the mound. Shortstop would be covering. So Rodney Scott is caught stealing, and that's going to drop it down. Hello, Mouse. How are you doing? All right, so base is clear now and 2 outs for Mitchell Page. 2-7 for Mitchell Page, and he grounds to second to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the A's. They get nothing in the first and like it. We go to the second, no score here in Oakland. So Matt Keogh back out. Will be facing Lamar Johnson, the first baseman, followed by Chet Lemon and Don Kessinger. 6-9 against the righty. It's a fly ball to left field. Mitchell Page has got it, 1 away. And that sends us to Chet Lemon. 4-4, ground ball shortstop X, that's Piccolo. And Piccolo checks in defensively as a 3 and an E26. So 3 E26, 3 and a 4 is going to be a base hit. SI1, so it does sneak by him. Make sure there's no error. Well, it's a 16, so it could be. 16 could be an error on that. He's an E26 at short. There's a 17 and 18, but no 16, so it won't be an error. But it will be a single for Chet Lemon. Now, Chet Lemon can also get a jump here, 2-6 or a 12. A 9, he gets picked off automatically. Let's see if he can get the jump. A 6, he does get the jump, so he will try to steal. He's off 15. We've already determined that the combination of Keo and Sanguine's a +5, so that makes it a 20. And then you lose 2 for being held as 18. So anything other than 19 or 20, he'll make it. 2, so he does make it, and there's also a throwing error chance on Sanguine. So Sanguine's his T rating is a 6. So 1 through 6, it's a throwing error, and it is. So not only is it a stolen base for Lemon, but also an E2 on Sanguine on the throw. So Lemon goes to third as the Sox try to get aggressive and try to break this monotony of offensive ineptitude. So with the runner at third now, infield's in for the A's here for Don Kessinger. 6-12, and Kessinger is a switch hitter batting left. That's a ground ball, second base X, and that is Mr. Rodney Scott. Rodney Scott, his defensive prowess is a 4, E32. So a 4 is problematic. 4 and a 12, he may not get to that. 4 and a 12 is a G3, so he'll get to it, but the run will score, even if he fields it cleanly. Error is a 9, so on him, he is an E32. E32, there is no 9, but it is a G3, which means the run will score. RBI ground out for Kessinger, and the Sox lead it 1-0 as they got aggressive with the base running. What kind of dice tower did you get, Mouse? Did you get one similar to what we have here, or did you get something a little bit different? Because this is one that I have, and I know Tenacious Earl has, and we both really love it. But of course, there's different models out there and whatnot. All right, so 2 out, bases clear for Jim Essien. 3-6 for Essien is a ground ball to third, and the inning's over. But the Sox do get that run, manufactured run, putting the pressure on the defense, taking advantage of that +5 hold rating combination of pitcher and catcher. So they take a 1-0 lead, and we go to the bottom of the second for. Oh, yeah, darker color. Okay, well, I mean, it's all the same. It's just it works just as well and very well made. So well worth the investment, I thought. All right, so here's Jorgensen. 4-3 against Rinko, and that is a fly ball right field X. That's Gamble. That could be trouble because Gamble's not exactly a gold glover out there. And in right field, Gamble checks in as a 4, E4. So he won't make the error most likely, but he's got to be able to get to it. 4 and a 17, he will get to it. So let's make sure there's no error on the E4. That's a 12. That should be okay. We'll check it. E12, or E4 and a 12. There is no 12. And a 4 and a 17 is an F2. So good play. Good play out there by Gamble. He fought that tough one off and made the catch. Here's Jim Tyrone. 1-2 for Tyrone. Lomax, a line out to second, but nobody else is on base, so it's just going to be the 1 out. But that would have been a double play, Neil Lomax style. All right, so here's Manny Sanguine. Had that throwing error last time. 4-9 on Rinko. Ground ball shortstop X, that is Alan Bannister. He's a 4 E48. 4 and a 5 is most likely a base hit. We'll double check it. Hey DJ, how you doing? 4 and a 5 is a base hit, so it's going to sneak by Bannister. We'll check for an error. 6 on an E48 is an error, so it's not only a single, but it's a single plus an error. And yet another error on Mr. Bannister. Boy, he's loading up on errors this year. So Sanguine's now at second with 2 outs for Wayne Gross. Nothing on the 20. Gross, 5-5, and that is a 1 for a double, 2 to 20 is a single, but it's 2 stars, and it's going to tie the game. And it's a single, but it's 2 stars. So that throwing error by Bannister cost him a run, as did the throwing error by Sanguine. So right now, we are tied at 1. Gross is on. He's not a threat to do anything, so he's not going to go anywhere. But Tony Armas is up. He's a threat to do something. Nothing on the 20. 6-5. Yeah, DJ had some technical issues. Hopefully they're now squared away. I won't get into them maybe some other time. I don't want to stop up the stream. All right, so 6-5 on Rinko, and that's more trouble. 1 to 7 is a triple, 8 to 20 is a double. So Armas getting into the act, and it's a double. So we'll see if Gross can score. He was being held on because he's a C stealer. He's a 13, makes him a 12. There are 2 outs, makes him a 14. The double went to center, which is Lemon, he's a 0. So that makes it a 14. So do they want to try it? They're going to go ahead and send him. And 16, he's out trying to score. So how about that? We'll call it 8-4 to 2. And they get him out. So it chucks off that run at the plate. Keeps the score at 1 apiece. And Mr. Rinko is happy about that. So we go to the second. Yeah, Rob has this. Tenacious Earl has it, and I have it, and apparently Mouse has it as well. So they're very well made, and I can see why why people want to buy them. All right, so I saw Rob with his, and it's just like I gotta have it. I gotta have a dice tower because rolling the dice was just getting to be too much of a pain, and I was throwing dice all over the place. So hopefully this will help. All right, top of the third, tied at 1, and here is Ralph Garr back to the top of the order, 6'10". Catcher X, that's Sanguian. And Sanguian rating is a 3E4. But nobody's on base. 3 and a 1. That's interesting. A 3 and a 1 for a catcher. 3 and a 1 is a W/S, but again, nobody's on base. There's no wild pitches to worry about. That's an 8. An 8, and he is an E4. So I don't think there's any problem there. Nope. W/S. Let's see what that says on the chart. W/S. Assuming I can find it. There it is. With no runners on, the batter swings at a wild pitch. And oh, how about this? With no runners on, the batter swings at a wild pitch and 0-2 count. The batter beats the throw from the catcher. So he's going to reach. It's a strikeout, but it's a wild pitch. So Garr is actually going to reach on the strikeout wild pitch. So it's a strikeout, or is it a pass ball? Let me reread this here. Strikeout, yeah, strikeout wild pitch. So it's a strikeout wild pitch. So we count Keogh with a wild pitch. Do give him a credit for a strikeout, but Garr is now at second base with nobody out. So that certainly has helped his cause. So let's see if anything's going on with Bannister. Trying to make up for that error. 5-5 on Keogh, struck him out. So that doesn't help his cause any. So 2 strikeouts for Keogh this inning, but one of them is standing at second base. Here's George Orta. 10 is nothing going on there. Here's Orta. 3-10 for Orta, and that's ground ball to second C. That's going to move the runner to third. So now Garr is at third with 2 outs. And here's Richie Zisk. Nothing on the 20. Zisk trying to get a big 2-out hit. 1-9. He won't do it. He grounds to short. Picholo's got it. Inning's over, so it wasn't pretty, but the A's get out of it with no runs. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-1. And Rob Picholo, the shortstop, will lead things off for the A's. We get a 4-7, and Rinko, 4-7, struck him out. So 1 away, and that brings up Bill North. 3-3 for North against Rinko is a walk. 1-out walk, and now you know Bill North's looking to steal. He's got a jump of 2 through 9 or an 11, but a 10 or 12 he will be caught automatically or picked off automatically. Let's see how it plays out. Get a 6, so he does get the jump, which means he starts as a 15. Catcher and pitcher are 0, so lose 2 for being held as a 13. So a 1-13 for Bill North. And he's caught stealing. So how about that? Mr. Essien has thrown out 2 in a row now. So A's trying to run, and Essien's having no part of it. So there's 2 down. Base is clear for Rodney Scott. 2-8 for Rodney Scott. He's going to draw a walk, and does Rodney Scott try to steal? I mean, he's got good numbers. He can get the jump automatically. So we're looking at a 1-13 again. You got to try it because the odds are in your favor. So they're going to try to steal 1-13. And he does make it this time. And it's a 3, so it's a possible throwing error on the catcher, Essien. His T rating is a 7. And it's a throwing error on Essien. So another error again. Stolen base. And then an E2. So that's a second error by the Sox. 1 for Oakland. So now Scott's at third with 2 outs for Mitchell Page. Nothing happening there. Here's Mitchell. 6-8 against a lefty. 6-8 is a single 2 stars, and that will give the A's the lead. So that will do it right there. Mitchell Page, and he's a threat to steal as well, so he's going to try it, or at least try to get a jump. 2 through 5 to get the jump. It's a 4. He gets his jump, so he starts as a 19. It'll be a 17 for them being held. And he steals the base. Mitchell Page steals second base. He's at second with 2 outs for Mike Jorgensen. A's lead at 2-1. Looking for more. 4-6 struck him out against Rinko, so Rinko gets out of that jam. Allows the 1 run. The A's now take the lead 2-1, but it could have been worse, I suppose. And we go to the top of the 4th, 2-1 in favor of the A's. And just out of curiosity, the people that are watching, is everything clear? Can you see everything, or is it blurry? Because I have a hard time telling through my computer exactly how it looks. So I kind of depend on the feedback of others, or I just play it out and see what happens and look at it later. But hopefully you can read everything and see everything, but that's my goal. But it doesn't always work out that way with technology. Me and technology are not good friends. All right, here's Oscar Gamble. 6-8 against Keogh, and that's ground ball second base X. That's Rodney Scott. And Rodney Scott. Hello, ID. Welcome back. I think we've finally got everything figured out. At least I hope so. I'll try not to kick the power surge again. So 4 E32 for Rodney Scott. 4, can he get to it? 4-3 is going to get through for a base hit. We'll check an error. E32 and an 11. Don't think there's an error on 11. Nope, there's an error on yes, there is. I take it back. E32, there is an 11 for a second baseman. So it will be a single plus an error for Oscar Gamble to start off the 4th inning. So yet another error. Each team now with 2 errors already. And we're just in the 4th inning. So sloppily game, and it kind of fits in with my sloppily whatever. Jack, yeah, I forgot to roll for the pickoff, or balk or pickoff. I should have done that. I forgot. So I will do that from now on, even when the guy has all his jump stuff. All right, so Gamble's at second with nobody out. And here's Lamar Johnson. 1, that's a chance for a wild pitch, but he has no wild pitch rating. So we drive on. Lamar Johnson, 5-7. That's a walk. So that's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out, and the Sox really need something to happen here. They're giving up lots of opportunities of scoring and coming away empty-handed. Here's Lemon. 3-8 for Lemon, and he's going to strike out. So there you go. Big at bats, and they're striking out. Brings up switch hitter Kessinger. See what he can do. 1 again, but it's no wild pitch because he has no rating for that. 6-3. 6-3 is a fly ball left field X. That's Mitchell Page. I'm sorry, it's Jim Tyrone, not Mitchell Page. Tyrone's a 4 E19, so awful fielder, but can he get to it? 4 and a 17, he'll actually get to that. E19, see if he makes an error. That's a 14 on an E19. This could be interesting. I'm sorry, 16 on a E19. 16 to E19. There's a 17 and 18, but there's no 16, so he will make the play. It's an F2, and I believe on an F2, do the runners move up? Let's see here, or is that just runner on second may try to tag up, so it's like that B question mark. Gamble, though, let's see, does he run all that well? Well, he runs at a 14. That's not bad. So they're going to see if they can't move him up here, although it is to left field. So, although it is an F2, so we'll see. 1 to 14. Left fielder arm Tyrone is a 0, so that's not going to affect anything. 1 to 14, he'll make it. 15 to 19, he has to hold. 20, he's out. 1, he will make it to third, so that at least gets him to third base with 2 outs. Not that that really matters, but it could. So it's all up to Jim Essie and the catcher with a runner at third and 2 outs. Nothing on the 20. 6-7, and it could make a difference. If he gets a 1 here, it's a single with 1 star that would score the run. Anything else, he lines it to third. And Wayne Gross snags it, and the Sox come away empty again. They threaten, but come away with nothing. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, still 2-1 Oakland. And Sox are just not getting it done. All right, so Tyrone to lead things off against Rinko. 6'11", he's a right-hander. 6'11 is a fly ball to right field. That's handled by Oscar Gamble. 1 away. Manny Sanguillen. 1-5 for Sanguillen. That's a fly ball to right, 2 down. And again, Oscar Gamble makes the play. Wayne Gross. 5-8 against Rinko. That's ground ball second base X, and that's Mr. Orta. And Orta is a 4E23, and that perennial 11 on the E23 is what gets him every time. See if he can get to it first. 4 and a 16, he'll get to it, but he's got to avoid an 11. And he does, barely. It's a 9. So he does make the play to end the inning. And we go to the 5th. 2-1, Oakland. Matt Keogh, this will be his start of weakness inning. He's got a 5 on his fatigue factor. So got to keep an eye on that. Top of the order, Ralph Garr will lead things off for the Sox. 1-3 is going to ground to short. And there's 1 away. Brings up Alan Bannister, shortstop. 4-9 on Keogh. That's a double. It's a double off of Keogh, a straight double to left field for Bannister. And that continues his hitting streak. He's now got a 15-game hitting streak. I forgot to mention that earlier. He does have a 15-game hitting streak. I found that out when I was doing some stats for the computer. He has a 15-game. He had a 14-game. Now it's a 15-game. We'll roll for the 20. Nothing happening. Here's Orta. 1-8 for Orta. Is a line out. All these hits in column 1. He lines it to short. He lines it right to Piccolo for out number 2. So 2 down. And it's up to Richie Zisk. Can Zisk do it? He needs a big RBI. 5-6. He will not. He grounds to Piccolo, and that's going to end the inning. I'm sorry, I looked at 4-6. 5-6 is a walk. Almost made that mistake. It was, in fact, a 5-6, which is a walk, not a 4-6. So he's still at, the Sox are still at bat. Runners at first and second. That is a walk. It looks messy on the score sheet, but it is a walk. All right, here is Gamble. Oops, sorry, I forgot to roll the 20. Nothing happening. Here's Gamble. 2-7 for Gamble. On all this, he found a ground ball right in front of all these hits and walks, but he grounds to first. Handled by Jorgensen, and the Sox again leave people on base, particularly in scoring position. That's been their bane this whole season. They do it again. Let's see. There are 2 notches against Keogh's point of weakness, so he's got to really be careful next inning for fatigue. Rinko has a 6, so he's still good to go. And it'll be Tony Armas to lead it off. He doubled his first time up. 3-11 for Armas, and that's a ground ball to first. It's going to be handled by Johnson, 1 away. For Rob Piccolo. Piccolo struck out his first time. 2-9, and he's going to ground it to Orta. So 2 up, 2 down. Rinko, much better inning this time. See if he can get a 1-2-3 and then gets Bill North. 4-6, he can. He struck him out. So Rinko, 1-2-3 here in the 5th. That helps. That keeps his fatigue chances way down. And now we go to the 6th. Still 2-1. Oakland in the lead. Sox trying to manufacture something. Now Keogh has had 2 notches against his point of weakness, so he's got 2 more to go before he gets tired. Mar Johnson, a 1-11. He will foul it out to Wayne Gross. And that's 1 away. Chet Lemon, somebody's got to do something for the Sox to get him out of this funk. 4-10. It's a chance for a double and all that stuff, but he's going to fly to right field. Armas is there, 2 down. Page is DH. He's not fielding anything. Here's Kessinger. 5-6. And Kessinger will get a 2-out single. But I don't know how much that's going to help. He's going to try to steal because it's a +5 aggregate against the pitcher and catcher. 2 through 5 or a 12 for the jump. And he gets an 8, so nothing happening there. There is a 2, which I believe is a balk chance, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see, but Keogh has no balk rating, so that's going to end that. So no chance of a balk. So we'll move on. And Jim Essien, the batter. 2-6 for Essien. He pops to short, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. And he had 1 more notch against his point of weakness, so he can still go 1 more inning. Well, Keogh, if he's effective. And we go to, hey RJ, how are you doing? All right, so Rodney Scott is up 2-1 Oakland here to start the bottom of the 6th. And Rinko has nothing against his point of weakness. This is his point of weakness inning beginning. See what he can do against Rodney Scott. 4-9, 4-9. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Bannister. He's already made one error. He's a 4. 4 and a 19. He'll get to that, but he's an E48. He's got to avoid 6, 12, 15, 16, and 18. And a 9 will do it. So he did avoid that and make the play. Keeps that speedy Scott off the bases. Here's Mitchell Page. 2-6 for Mitchell. He grounds to first. Lamar Johnson's got it. 2 down. So I thought it was going to be a slugfest. It's turned to a pitching duel. Here's Jorgensen. 5-8. And that's a ground ball second base X. That's Orta. We know he's a 4 E23. 4 and a 17 he'll get to. He's got to avoid the 11. That's the one that gets him. And he did, so no problem there. So it's good play. And we're going to the top of the 7th, still 2-1. Now the Oakland bullpen is loosening. Bob Lacey, a lefty. Their closer, Doug Baer, has pitched 3 innings in the last 2 games, so he is unavailable for Oakland. But they do have Bob Lacey and a few other relievers they can turn to. But they can't turn to Baer because he is tired. I mean, I could bring him in, but he would be fatigued right away. Which I guess you could still do, if it got down to that. All right, so Ralph Gard will lead it off here in the top of the 7th against Keogh. We get a 5-5, and that is a ballpark home run chance, which is for Oakland a 1-7. And he does have normal power, so 1-7, we got a tie game. And it's a 19, of course, so not going to happen. It's a fly to right. Just the way it's been going for the Sox this year. Here's Bannister. 6-11. That's a ground ball to first. Handled by Jorgensen. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Orta. 6-9 is a ground ball to second. Scott's got it. Inning's over. 7th inning stretch we go. But of course we're in Oakland, so no Harry Carey. And Rinko had nothing against his point of weakness, so he's good to go. Against Jim Tyrone. 5-9, struck him out. So Rinko gets the strikeout. Here's Sanguian. 3-9, and that's a ground ball to second. Orta is there. 2 down. Brings up Wayne Gross. 2-6 for Gross, struck him out. So that's going to end the inning. Too bad we can't have a more exciting game where it's some runs scored, but pitchers decided to show up in this game, or either the hitters decided not to show up, however you want to look at it. Richie Zisk, the batter, and Keogh still has one more notch he can give up before he gets tired, so they're going to leave him in there. They do have Bob Lacey, the lefty, light tossing, and Bob Lacey did have 7 saves on the season, and he is a multiple inning reliever, so he could come in and try to close the deal if Keogh gets in trouble. Richie Zisk. 3-9 for Zisk, and that's a strikeout. Not a way to start the inning. Here's Oscar Gamble. He's got some home run. He needs a column 1 result right here. Nope, it's a 5. 5-8, but he still turned out pretty good. 5-8, 1-14 is a triple. 15-20 is a single. And it's a triple for Oscar Gamble. How about that? A triple for Oscar Gamble. And now anything else now will be fatigue on Keogh. So with a right-hander Johnson coming on, they don't want to bring in the lefty Lacey. So they may, let's see if they got a right-hander they can bring in, because Doug Baer is not available. They could bring in Joe Coleman, I suppose. Although he's mostly a starter. But he is available. But they're going to let Keogh try and see if he can avoid the dots on his card. Infield is in to try to cut that run off. Nothing on the 20. Here's Lamar Johnson. 5-7, and that's a walk. So that's going to do it for Keogh. They've gone as far as they couldn't go with him. They don't trust it anymore. He just walked another batter, a batter there. So runners are on the corners now with 2 outs, or sorry, 1 out here in the 8th. So Keogh goes 7 in the 3rd and faces 33 batters. And lefty or righty, they don't care. They are going with their guy with the 7 saves, and that's Bob Lacey. And Lacey on the season was 6-8 with a 3.03 ERA and 7 saves. He does have this relief 2 rating, closer 3 rating, so he certainly can finish the deal if he's effective without being tired. but you do lose the lefty-righty advantage. So I don't know if, Lemon, if he finds this column 1, could make it problematic. But here's Lemon against Lacey. That's a 1. That's a wild pitch chance. It's a 7. And Lacey does not uncork the wild pitch. So here we go. Infield is at double play depth. They want to try to turn 2 on Lemon if they can. 3-11. 3-11 is a ground ball, shortstop B, and that's going to tie the game because that's a 6-4 fielder's choice. So had they had the infield in, that would have cut the runoff, but you also give up the possibility of getting the ball through the infield in these plus chances. So you know, darn if you do and darn if you don't kind of thing. I guess you could blame me for not having the infield in. I don't know. Runners on the corners and 1 out. I play for the double play most times. Just didn't happen to work out as Lemon beat the relay, and now we're tied at 2. So now the game is out of the hands of Keogh. It is now in the hands of Bob Lacey. 2 outs and that's a 2, so it's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. Chance for a balk. His balk rating is a 3. And it is a 3, so how about that? Bob Lacey balks. Don't see that happen very often. But Lemon is now at second base on that balk. And nothing happened that time. So here's Kessinger, second base and 1 out. I'm sorry, 2 outs. Runner at second. Infield is playing normal, but Lemon is being held. 6-5. He's switching to batting right-handed now. 6-5 would be a ground ball to second, but in super advanced we switch down here. Single is 1-3. Anything else he lines to Piccolo at short. And it's a liner to Piccolo at short to end the inning. But the Sox do tie the game 1-1. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and I think we're going to probably be, well, let's see. Rinko is still going strong, though. He is, actually, Rinko has retired the last 13 batters he has faced. So they're going to leave him in there, see if he can keep it going. They do have Laren LeGros in the bullpen ready to go if they need him. Armas, 1-3, ground ball to third, handled by Kessinger, 1 away. But if you've got a hot pitcher, you might as well ride him. Here's Piccolo. 5-7. Well, that's a double. That wasn't so hot. Right there, a big double for the number 9 hitter, Piccolo. Now, Piccolo, not going to be held, and it'll be Bill North, the batter. Nothing happening there. 3-5 for North, and that's trouble. That's going to be it for Rinko right here. Maybe we went too long with him. 1-2 is a triple. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single 2 stars. And that's a single 2 stars, and the A's are back out in front 3-2. So that's going to be all for Rinko. Maybe went 1 batter too many. I don't know. Bill North will be coming on. Let's see. Do they want to? Actually, they're going to bring in Clay Carroll, not LeGros. They're going to bring in Clay Carroll because he's got a -3 hold rating, and they want to try to keep Bill North where he is. So it's going to do it for Rinko, and they're going to bring in Clay Carroll. Rinko is going to go 7 1/3 and face 30 batters. All right, so North is at first. He's going to try to get the jump. See if he can do so. Anything other than 11 or than a 10 or a 12, he'll get the jump. Well, it's a 1, so he's got to get back. It's a possible pickoff. His secondary is a 9, so this has to be a 9 or less, or he gets picked off. And he's picked off. How about that? Carroll comes into the game and picks off Bill North. How about that? That's out number 2. That's a way to do it when you come in. Now the bases are clear for Rodney Scott. 4-9. Switch hitter batting left. 4-9's ground ball, shortstop X. That is Bannister. He's a 4. And a 20. He will get to it, but can he avoid the errors? That's an 11. He's a 48. E48. A 12 is an error, but not an 11. So he will make the play to end the inning, but oops. Need to get my white out over here. I just put a 0. It should have been a 1. How do I do such things? I guess it's the wishful thinking part there. So let's correct this real quick. That should be a 1 there, not a 0. So it is 3-2 Oakland as we go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the A's. I'm sorry, for the Sox. Last chance against Bob Lacey. And coming up for the Sox, it'll be scheduled anyway, Jim Essien, Gar, and Bannister, but we're going to have a pinch hitter for Essien. It's going to be Wayne Nordhagen. So Wayne Nordhagen, the pinch hitter for Essien. Nordhagen does really well against lefties, so they want to give him a shot against this lefty. Wayne Nordhagen. He's got a really good column 1 against lefties and a good column 3. So we'll see what happens. But it's against Lacey. 5-9 against the righties. Ground ball shortstop X, that's Picholo. He's a 3. 3 and a 19. He will get to that without a problem. His error rating is a 26. E26 and a 13. There's a 12 but no 13, so it's good play. And Nordhagen fails in the pinch. Brings up Ralph Gar. 3-12, and that's a low max. It always hits in column 3, and he found a low max. Just the way it's going for the Sox. Down to their final out. Last chance for the Sox. It's Alan Bannister. He's already doubled in this game. 5-10, but he will hit a ground ball to shortstop X, so it's up to Picholo to finish the game off. He's a 3. That's a 16. He'll get to it. He's an E26. And that's a 15. Let's see if there's an error on the E26 and a 15. There is not, so that's going to be the ball game. 3-2 your final. And how about this? The Sox go to Oakland and lose 3 of 4. They were hoping to go there and make some ground up, but against the last place A's, they lose 3 of 4. That's just the way it's been. Lacey gets the save. Actually, Lacey gets the win. My bad. Lacey gets the win. And Rinko takes a tough luck loss for his credit. Let's look at the totals real quick. 1, 2, 3. So I know it's a messy score sheet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got Chicago for 7 hits and 2 errors. So I've got Chicago 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. How many did leave on base? They left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They left 9 on base. And for Oakland, let's see how many hits they had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. And they left on 1, 2. They only left 2 on base. So how about that? All right, so unofficially, I have Oakland winning 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. Chicago 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and 9 left. So again, the Sox now drop to 70 and 66. They are fading and fading fast, and the picture does not look better for them tomorrow because they are going to be traveling down the highway to California to take on the Angels in a doubleheader. In game 1 of that doubleheader, they're going to be facing Nolan Ryan. So not exactly the thing to look forward to, but you never know. Maybe the way things are going, maybe they need a tough fastball pitcher to get them going. I don't know. But looking at this next game, it's going to be Nolan Ryan against Francisco Bar matchup in the next game. It'll be game 1 of a doubleheader. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. I really want to broadcast the Nolan Ryan game, but I don't think I'm going to do a doubleheader. So we'll figure something out. I'll probably just do one game and then do the other game offline. It's hard to tell. I do appreciate I do appreciate the everybody showing up and putting up with my multiple attempts that didn't work. Hopefully this one came out okay. I do love my little camera arm that puts the camera way up top, so it's out. So in front of me, I have nothing hindering me looking at the cards or writing on the score sheet or rolling the dice through the thing. It's much better. I wish I'd gotten that a lot earlier. It took me a while to finally get around to it because playing, and I don't know if I can find this or not. Let me see. In the past, what I had done, full disclosure, in the past what I'd done is I had this is what I had previously, is I had this thing here. And so this thing was in front of me, and I'd have to reach around it to roll the dice. And I'd be like this and without the dice tray, this is without the dice tray too. I'd be going like here, trying to reach around it, trying to roll the dice. and it just wasn't a good thing. So hopefully this, new setup now is much better, and things will be more tidy. I have to practice it with other games though, because I don't know how it's going to look for inside pitch, or how it's going to look for payoff pitch, or APA, or any of those other games that I play, History Maker, or whatever. So right now I'm trying it out with Strat, and unfortunately, Sox lose 3 of 4 to the lowly A's. Definitely didn't see that one coming. I was thinking they were going to make up some ground on the people they're trying to chase, namely Kansas City and Texas. But now losing 3 of 4, they're going to drop to 4th place behind Minnesota, because they were ahead of Minnesota coming into the series. But I'm sure, and I don't know what Minnesota's doing with the computer auto-playing it, but I'm sure they're most likely now dropping to 4th place. It's not a matter of them trying to make the playoffs anymore. It's just a matter of them trying to have a decent season here on out. But what I may do when the season is over, and I've only got, let's see, tomorrow's game 137. Once that finishes, I did have Utah Mike ask me about playing an ALCS to see what's going on, to play that out. So if the season ended right now, Texas would be the representative in the AL West, and Boston and Baltimore are in a dead heat in the AL East on the computer as far as the, autoplay on that. And I've got a new laptop, but I can't switch the Strat over to my new laptop because I'm afraid if I take the authorization off, I'm going to lose all my stuff on this 77 Sox season. So I want to wait till that's over before I unauthorize it from my computer, my old laptop, and move it to my new laptop. So that's kind of a hindrance too. I'd really love to have this thing on my laptop so I could, have a much more easier way to do things, but that's just the way it works sometimes. So I do appreciate you guys hanging in there with me despite my technical issues. Hopefully now, like I said, hopefully this thing came out okay where you could see everything. You can see the dice, the cards, and the score sheet. That's the most important that I want you guys to be able to see. I don't need to be on the camera. I don't want to be on the camera. I preferred it this way. So I prefer to be in the background and just playing the games and have you sit here almost like you're in my chair doing the game yourself. It's just I'm doing the mechanics for you. So that's good to do it from here. Not sure what I'm going to do going forward as far as another telecast. I might upload something. I don't want to dominate live streams, that's for sure, because other folks want to live stream stuff. I rarely live stream. This is a rare case for me doing this. Usually I upload things more often than not, or do them on a premiere basis, where I premiere something live after it's been recorded. So not sure what I'm going to do yet. I really want to get Inside Pitch back on the table and do something with that. Been doing the 84 season, so I really want to do the Houston-St. Louis game, which is next on the schedule for the 84 season, as we're in the month of May, as the replay PC is auto-simming the other games, but I'm playing the one game a week with Inside Pitch, trying to use every team at least once from 1984, and this time around, last time the game was Texas and Chicago from the AL. This time around is Houston and St. Louis on Inside Pitch. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing next, but you never know. I don't know what I'm going to do, honestly. I never know. This was a whim to me to do this today, so just, whatever floats my boat at the time, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I don't want to ramble any further. I've already rambled enough, I suppose. So like I said, I do appreciate you guys tuning in to the Chicago White Sox replay and putting up with my technical snafus. 77 White Sox replay is getting nearer to the end. We're now at game 137 coming up. So less than, you're talking about about 20 left. So, and some of those I'm playing on the computer offline to kind of, yes, Dan, this was Strat-O-Matic that was just played. See the Strat-O-Matic cards right there. So, yep, 1977 Strat-O-Matic Chicago White Sox replay. They are now, like I said, 70 and 66. They're about 6 games off of the pace of what they did in real life. So I don't know if it's bad dice rolling, bad managing, or a combination thereof. But they're just having they're going through a rough stretch right now. They need to get it going. They're not hitting. The hitmen are not hitting. The pitching's halfway decent, but you can't score 2 runs a game and expect to win. So let's do it from here. If RJL or Mike or Tony or anybody like that's going to be streaming later today, be sure to check them out and support their channels as well, or Philip if he's doing one as well. Yeah, I do play APA. I don't really care for it that much unless I use the Merino boards. The basic APA I don't like because there's just not enough interaction there with the pitcher and the batter, in my opinion. I got to have it, and there's no left-right splits in the basic. It's just a lot of things in APA basic I don't care for. With the Merino boards, it does make it tolerable for me to play, but I'm much more into Strat-O-Matic, inside pitch, payoff pitch, history maker baseball, replay baseball, things like that. So let's go do it from here. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday. It's like 97 degrees out here, so I'm glad I'm inside and not outside, although I do have to go outside and go on an errand, so we'll have to do that. But stay cool out there, and I think the regular baseball season might be starting up spring training games shortly. I think they're already doing some inter-squad games that I've seen on YouTube. So get your baseball fix in. If you can't get it in, your fix in on the real baseball, then check out the different YouTube channels that are doing replay baseballs on the cards and dice or the PC. That's secondary to, or second best if you can't do the real thing. Do a replay like this or something along those lines. So take care, stay safe out there, and until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.